All right, under the definition of meals, it says the bulk of the meat came from sheep, lambs, kids, and fatted calves. Swine were eaten, but not by the Hebrews. Okay, so once again, just to elaborate on the point, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the 12 tribes of Israel, we was not eating swine back in the ancient world. We was not eating pig in the ancient world because we knew better. It says some game, such as the hart, gazelle, goat, antelope, and deer, as well as doves, turtle dove, and quail form part of the meat diet. Some eggs were used for food, locusts and fish. The Hebrews, all right, talking about us, the Hebrews used milk from cattle and goats for drinking, but this they made cheese. It says from this they made cheese and butter, which once again, these are things that we eat today. All right, so once again, all of these things, okay, when you understand them, they are beneficial for our body. All right, just don't overconsume. Don't become a glutton. All right, and don't eat abominable beasts. Okay. And that was really the point on that. All right, so as you can see, food is extremely nutritious and beneficial to us, man. All right, this is what helps, continues our genetic makeup. This is what helps refines our genetic makeup, man. All right.
They do that because the Lord, that's them, and that's what they look like after they do it.
That's right. That's right. This is the history that they don't teach us in school. You notice this is the things that they want to take out of the textbooks. You know, they want to take away from the face of the world because America has a very shameful history. Very shameful history. You know, this is unfair treatment right here. Did you know? Did you know that in the Bible it says that a dead body wasn't supposed to be left out overnight? You see that? And what did they do? They hung us on trees, called it strange. And this is where you get the expression strange fruit. They hung us out on trees and things of that nature, and they didn't bury us, which they were supposed to. You know, but this is how hated we are. And this was like just yesterday. This was only a few years ago. You know, this whole U.S. of A was built on rape, robbery, and murder. You know, but this is the history of our people. You know, and it's not just blacks, but it's the Latinos went through the same thing. The Native American Indians went through the same thing. You know, and we all brothers and sisters. You know, all of the people on this side are related. We all come from the 12 tribes of Jacob. You know, all of the people on this side. You know, but going back to the scriptures. All right. Let me go ahead and get this. Also, since we're on the topic of nutrition. All right, because the scriptures in particular talk about honey a lot. The scriptures talk about honey and things of that nature and how beneficial it is for us. All right? But let me get this in the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 13. Proverbs chapter 24, verse 13, it says, "My son, eat thou honey because it is good, and the honeycomb which is sweet to thy taste." Yeah, honey is sweet, all right? But what it also has antioxidant properties, all right? So honey can help get rid of bacteria, and it's also sweet at the same time. So if you like eating pancakes and things of that nature, if you eat biscuits, you can pour some honey on your pancakes and biscuit, and it'll be a nice treat for you, all right? It says, "My son, eat thou honey because it is good, and the honeycomb which is sweet to thy taste." All right, so it's good and it's good for you. All right, honey. All right, another scripture that talks about honey. We got this in the book of it says Proverbs chapter 25, verse 16. It says, "Hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therewith and vomited." Okay, so what? You got to eat honey in moderation. You got to eat everything in moderation. All right, same exact thing with wine. If you like your alcohol, okay, you have to drink in moderation. All right, because it's beneficial for you. Unless you drink or you eat too much and you vomit it out. All right, which what? You're just going to be taking away the nutrients that you're supposed to be filled with. Okay? And I wanted to go into this too. All right, and where it talks about the fermentation of honey and garlic. Okay? Let me pull this real quick. Fermentation. All right. So this is on Google, and you can just look this up for yourselves. All right. It says, "What is fermented garlic and honey good for?" It says fermented garlic honey is known to be a great immune system booster. So once again, if you want to, dodge and weave, colds, all right, and any type of sicknesses and things of that nature, then what? You would eat fermented garlic and honey, okay? And that's basically, peeling the garlic cloves and storing them in honey for, I believe, it really starts working after about 2 weeks, but you can have it in there for up to a year. So if you're interested, go ahead and get your mason jars and start doing that, okay? So what? It's an immune system booster. It says garlic has antibacterial and antiviral properties that can help ward off infections and diseases. It says honey, on the other hand, is rich in antioxidants that help fight free radicals and prevent cell damage. Okay, so long story short, it's beneficial for you. Okay, and you can use it as salad dressings, okay, and toppings for other foods that you enjoy to eat. And what? You get all of these nutrients that's beneficial to your body. Okay? So that was the point on that. And I also wanted to get this as well, okay, because there was an account in the scriptures in the book of Daniel, all right, where it talks about how, eating herbs can be very beneficial for you, right? Let me get this in the book of Daniel. See, that's the spirit. That's the spirit, and that's a good spirit to be in. Of course, we gotta be cordial. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta be as peaceable as we can, even though knowing that what they did to us was terrible. We still gotta be peaceful. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like what's the expression? I had a friend that liked to use the expression, play stupid. You know what I'm saying? Just go about your everyday life because they're gonna pay for that. The scriptures, matter of fact. That's a good spirit to be in, and this is why knowledge is power. Because they're gonna pay for all of this that they did to us. They have to pay for it. Like if you believe in karma, the God of the Bible is all about karma. He's all about, what I'm saying, getting back what you give out, good and bad. And since they did so much bad to us, let me go ahead and get this in the book of Isaiah. Chapter 14, verse 21, okay? Because like you said, them and their grandfather, things of that nature, what they did to us, they're going to pay for that, right? Just to justify what you say, this is the book of Isaiah, Yeshaya, chapter 14, verse 21. It says, "Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, and remnant, and son and nephew, save the Lord." So the Lord said he's going to rise up on these so-called white people, and he's going to pay them back for us. So we're gonna get saved. We're gonna be relieved of everything that happened to us. The ravishing of our men, women, and children. How they starved us, how they killed up our cattle and livestock. How they basically took peace totally away from us. Okay, they're going to have to pay for all of these things. They're going to have to pay for the degeneracy of our people, our minds, going more numb, and us not being spiritually sound. They're going to have to pay for all of that. The scriptures say so. The scriptures say, "Vengeance is mine, I shall repay." Okay? That was the point on that. All right, but going back into the lesson, all right, talking about how food, all right, is crucial, especially, eating things like eating more vegetables is a lot more beneficial for us. All right, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 1. Verse 1. It says, in the 3rd year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem and besieged it. And the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand, with the part of the vessels of the house of God, which he carried. As a matter of fact, hold up, I might be in the wrong chapter. Salakia. No, I am. I'm in the right chapter. Salakia. Let me jump down to the point. All right. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 1, verse 8. It says, but Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the princes of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. Okay, because what? The king was trying to find warriors, all right, to abide in the military, man. Okay? It says, now God had brought Daniel into favor and tender love with the prince of the eunuchs. And the prince of the eunuchs said unto Daniel, I fear my lord the king, who hath appointed your meat and your drink. For why should you see your faces worse liking than the children which are of your sort? Then shall you make me endanger my head to the king. All right, and jumping down to the point, it says, prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us posts to eat and water to drink. All right, and posts is talking about vegetation. It says, then let our countenances be looked upon before thee, and the countenance of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat, and as thou seest, deal with thy servants. Okay, so Daniel, he said, look, let me and my peoples eat, posts, which is, vegetation, and drink water. Okay, and let your people, let the king's people, all right, eat their meat and drink their wine, right? Verse 14, Daniel 1 and 14, it says, so he consented to them in this matter and proved them 10 days. And at the end of 10 days, their countenances appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. Okay, so eating pulses or vegetation, okay, rather than, constantly, over consuming meat, okay, is more beneficial to you, man, because what? Vegetables, all right, they preserve you a lot longer, okay? Whereas overconsumption of meat could decrease your lifespan. This is why you got a lot of our people coming out with, the high blood pressure, okay? And a lot of these other foodborne illnesses because they overconsume. Okay? This is why what? You gotta balance out meat with grains and vegetation. Okay? Like if you're eating carbohydrates like rice and potatoes and things of that nature and pasta, you gotta balance those carbohydrates out with fiber-rich foods. Okay? Once again, it's all a balance, man. It's all a balance. Okay? That was the point on that. I want to bring up a couple articles. Laying back in on the importance of nutrition. Okay? Let me see. Slaki, before I go into that, let me go ahead and get this real quick. All right, this article on the site talking about emotional hunger versus physical hunger and how to tell the difference. All right, and this is on RachelHartleyNutrition.com. Hey, y'all as well, Shalom. That means speak Shalom. Shalom. It says emotional hunger versus physical hunger, how to tell the difference. It says one of the goals of intuitive eating is learning to recognize hunger or physical hunger and fullness cues and to build skills so you are mostly able to eat in alignment with them. The key word there is mostly, as we are not turning intuitive eating into a hunger fullness diet here on this blog. There are plenty of good reasons to eat outside of physical hunger. Plus, sometimes we just miss the mark and eat more or less than what our body needs. Yeah, which this is true. Okay? Once again, sometimes we overconsume, sometimes we underconsume. Okay? That said, part of getting back in touch with hunger and fullness cues is distinguishing between emotional hunger and physical hunger. This can be quite challenging as there are aspects of each that overlap, and because it is possible to experience intense emotions at the same time as physical hunger, and sometimes because of physical hunger, which I'll discuss later. This blog post will discuss emotional hunger versus physical hunger and how to tell the difference. What is physical hunger? Physical hunger, sometimes called biological hunger, occurs when your brain is communicating a physical need for food or energy. Okay, so this is what? There's hormones in our body that causes us to want to feast. Okay, you're gonna know when you're hungry. All right, when your stomach start rumbling, okay, you start feeling all famished and things like that. That's where you get the word famine from. All right, famished. All right, vice versa. Okay. It says physical hunger, sometimes called biological hunger, occurs when your brain is communicating a physical need for food or energy. This motivational state can show up in the body through a range of physical and emotional responses. Here at getting you to stop what you're doing and eat. Okay, so once again, you gotta eat when you're hungry. You know, your body is gonna let you know when you're hungry, when it's ready to eat, and what take in nutrition. It says the only way to address physical hunger is to eat. While there are many diet tricks floating out there aimed at suppressing physical hunger through distractions or temporarily stretching the stomach, these tricks do not address the biological need for food, aka calories. Physical hunger will still be there, lingering in the background until it rears its head with a much greater intensity. All right, so long story short, that's physical hunger. Excuse me. All right, then it says, what is emotional hunger? Because it's a great difference in them. So physical hunger is when your body, all right, sends you the signals to let you know, hey, it's time to eat. Okay, it's time to get that nutrition. I'm in want. I'm lacking. All right. It says, what is emotional hunger? It says emotional hunger is a desire for food that results from an emotion. Most people associate emotional hunger with negative emotions. Pay attention, and this is key, right? This is why you got the majority of Americans overweight. It says most people associate emotional hunger with negative emotions like stress, sadness, or anger. Uncertainty. Emotional hunger often stems from a desire to soothe, numb, or distract from these feelings. Okay, so this is why, you know, you see it in the movies, you know, when these people get depressed, namely women, what do they go to? They go to a big ass tub of ice cream, okay? And they sit down and they smack on that for a while, all right? Or they eat a bunch of pastries, they're stuffing their face with a bunch of pastries, okay? That's emotional hunger, you know? Maybe Chad, you know, pumped them and dumped them, so they sit back on a tub of ice cream or they eat a damn cake, all right? And then they start doing this, the longer they do this, they become more and more unhealthy, all right? And they're filling their bodies with a whole bunch of, you know, unnecessary calories. All right? It says, however, emotional hunger can also result from positive feelings like happiness, joy, or excitement. Boredom is another feeling that can cause emotional hunger. All right, so there you have it. All right? So what? These emotional responses can also trigger hunger. Okay? You ever just been walking through the kitchen or whatever? You know, you just look in the fridge like, damn, what I'm gonna eat? I know I just ate, but what I'm gonna eat? You know? You just look for something to munch and snack on. All right? Which, once again, there's nothing wrong with that in moderation, man. All right, but if you're gonna do that, try to consume things. This is what I do personally. I try to consume things that has less calories. Okay? You know, like pickles or whatever the case. You know, the chopped up pickles. Okay? Or you can eat some fruits. All right? Or you can make like a quick salad. Maybe you can eat some yogurt. All right? For what? You got physical hunger, and then you got emotional hunger. Okay? Ultimately, these are just, you know, bodily responses our bodies over time have started succumb to. And sometimes in the worst way possible. Okay. But that was the point on that. All right. And this is why it's really good for us to what? Balance out our diets, man. All right, because one of the things that's been getting popular over the years, I can't really put a number on the Salaki, but over the past few years, I'll just leave it like that. Maybe about a decade is intermittent fasting, man. All right, look it up. Intermittent fasting is basically, scheduling, what times to eat your meals, all right, and what times to fast away from eating, all right, because what our bodies, we have to digest our food, man. All right, so when you eat, your body starts working immediately, all right, to break down the food and start taking away the nutrients. This is why it's important for us to go, for certain periods in time throughout the day to where we're not eating, so that way our body can break down the food. All right, so every time you eat or you drink, your body is taking nutrients away from those food and drinks, man. Okay, and this is why fasting is important. This in the scriptures, encourage fasting and prayer. All right, I went into a few videos on it before. The elders talk about it as well, man. All right, fasting is great. You can go on a water fast, you can go on a dry fast. All right, but let me get this real quick. All right, just to solidify the point. This is on healthline.com. It says everything you need to know about dry fasting. All right, it says fasting is when you willingly avoid food intake. It's been practiced by religious groups around the world for thousands of years. These days, however, fasting has become a popular way to lose weight, which this is true. This is very true. And I'll say this as well because I've been watching a lot of nutritional and exercise videos and body videos lately and things of that nature, okay? One of the best ways to go about fasting, more particular to lose weight, if that's your goal, all right, is you got to stay moving. All right, you got to be active. You got to, go for a walk. All right, do a light workout, okay? You have to stay busy. You have to stay occupied, all right? It says dry fasting or absolute fasting restricts both food and liquid. Yeah, it's like I wanted to say this as well because while you're fasting, while you're moving around or exercising on the fast, all right, it can help oxidate, fat faster as well, all right. The word oxidate means to burn. Okay, so when you work out, when you do a light little workout while you're fasting, all right, it helps oxidate fat, man. Okay. See, once again, this is all free game. This is all free information. All right. If you're obese, if you're overweight, and you're unhappy with that, then what? You can just look these things up and apply it to your life. But see, the problem with people, and this is why, especially women, this is why a lot of these women, they go to the gastric bypasses and the tummy tucks and so on and so forth, instead of just simply going online, learning how to eat, learning how to balance their nutrition, doing a little workout, okay, and having patience, which is key, okay. They want to take the expensive and harder way out, right? That's bugged out, gastric bypasses, okay, and tummy tucks and all this other shit. It's not beneficial. It's not healthy, and it's very expensive, But learning about your nutrition, learning how to eat, all right, learning how to eat, when to eat, all right, having a steady workout regimen, okay, and having some patience, you will lose that fat, all right, that you hate so much, okay. Going back to the article, it says dry fasting or absolute fasting restricts both food and liquid. It doesn't allow any fluids, including water, broth, and tea. This is different from most fasts, which encourage water intake. There are many ways to fast. Dry fasting can be done with any method, including intermittent fasting. This is what I was talking about earlier. It says intermittent fasting cycles between fasting and eating. Many people do the 16-8 method. Okay, so the 16-8 method is basically when you're fasting, all right, no food no food intake, maybe water intake, all right, but if you want to dry fast, this is basically when you're not consuming food or water for a 16-hour period, okay? But then what? You're eating in an 8-hour period, okay? It says many people do the 16-8 method, which restricts food intake for 16 hours and allows eating during an 8-hour window. So in that 8-hour window, in that 8-hour eating period, you can eat whatever and I say this with discretion, you can eat whatever you want, okay? As far as being in the truth, we know what to eat. I'll just say it like that, all right? Well, what you basically eat, whatever you want for 8 hours, for an 8-hour period, okay? And after that 8-hour window is up, you stop eating completely, okay? So that's one of the more popular things. It says alternate day fasting. It says alternate day fasting is done every other day. It's a form of one-day fasting. Okay, so one day you eat, one day you don't. It says another one is eat, stop, eat. It says in this method, you fast for 24 hours once or twice a week. Periodic fasting, this is another one. It says food intake is restricted for a set number of days, such as a 3-day fast once a month, okay? And all of these are very beneficial if you utilize them. All of these are very beneficial, man, for weight loss, all right? For diet control, okay? And once again, fasting has been used by the prophets in the scriptures on numerous occasions, man. All right, Daniel fasted. All right, Jeremiah fasted. The Apostle Paul fasted. All right, the prophets fasted, man. Okay, Yahweh fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, man. All right? And what is beneficial? It's beneficial in the sense of, you know what I'm saying, being more in tune with your spirit. Okay? I know it sounds corny because what a lot of people in this world, has been drawn away, has been taken away, or dare I say snatched away from being spiritual. Okay? But it does, help with cognitive functions as well, man. All right? Like for example, like when you're fasting, when you're on a dry fast, no food, no water, yeah, you might feel more tired and fatigued and so on and so forth. Okay, maybe more particular on the first and second day. Okay, but then what? What happens? You on the third day you start to get like a certain mental sharpness. Okay, which is good. Once again, fasting, it improves cognitive functions. All right. So I wanted to bring this up since we're talking about fasting. All right. Now, typically on the third day of fasting, all right, your body goes through this procedure called autophagy. Okay. So this is on clevelandclinic.org. Yeah, my.clevelandclinic.org, okay? Going into autophagy, it says autophagy allows your body to break down and reuse old cell parts so your cells can operate more efficiently, okay? And what we need ourselves to operate to do, once again, what I've really been talking about this whole time, fighting these bad bacteria, okay? Fighting these infections, fighting these viruses, all right? So what? In the state of autophagy, all right, your body is consuming old cells and becoming new and better cells. Okay. It says it's a natural cleaning out process that begins when your cells are stressed or deprived of nutrients. Researchers are studying autophagy's role in potentially preventing and fighting disease. Okay. It says autophagy is your body's process of reusing old and damaged cell parts. Cells are the basic building blocks of every tissue and organ in your body. It says each cell contains multiple parts that keep it functioning. Over time, these parts can become defective or stop working. They become litter or junk inside an otherwise healthy cell. What? So they become obsolete. All right, they become more obsolete over time. Because what? They're living organisms too. Okay? It says autophagy is your body's cellular recycling system. It allows a cell to disassemble its junk parts and repurpose the salvageable bits and pieces into new usable cell parts. A cell can discard the parts it doesn't need. It says autophagy is also quality control for your cells Too many junk cell components in a cell can take up space and can slow or prevent a cell from functioning correctly. Okay, and then these these recycling of cells, all right, these new cells can help what? Once again, help your immune system, fighting off infections, etc. Okay, or if you get a cut or a wound and things of that nature, all right, it can help that wound heal faster too. Okay, when your body goes into the state of autophagy.